Hello, you lovely, lovely people. Good morning to you all. And I've been very busy these last week planting all these trees. Let me see. Have a look. But all this is done now. Another 78 trees have gone in, with another 100 more to go over there. So at the moment we've got 128 trees planted, with another 100 or more going over that part. Very busy, especially in this heat. Anyway, I'm happy that's happened. I'm happy that this has been done. Get them established before the rainy season. This means a lot of hard work, at the moment. I have to water them every morning, every night, but that's okay. Anyway, what I want to talk about is how friendly the police are here. I don't know your experience with the police here, but I've never had any, I haven't had a bad experience at all with any police here, none whatsoever. And Friday, we was, because my van is done now, the steering rack is installed, but there's still a bit of a rattling, but I think that's the low suspension arm, which will be changed as well at a later date. But anyway, the van's back on the road, and Friday we were going to the nursery to buy these trees, these longkong trees. And long before we saw the police, that, as you know, if you're in the Philippines, when there's a checkpoint, the people without licenses or registrations on their vehicles, they pull up, way before the checkpoint, and they just wait until the police go. Anyway, we went through it because all legal, our paperwork is above board, and it's all valid, it's up to date, and I have a driving license here. So we went through, and there must have been 12 or something like that, about 12 police stood on either side, and they waved us in. So I went in, and he said, "Have you got your license, sir?" "Yeah, I've got my license, sir." "Officer," I called him officer, and I give him my license, and he said, "Oh, yeah, that's fine." And I got my registration out the glove box. He said, no, that's okay. And one of the guys, he recognised me because he's here in the police station in Pinion. And he said, he even knows my name. Mind you, there's only 2 foreigners here in this barangay. And one of them, he's not here very often. He goes back to Australia and that. Anyway, he said, "Stephen," he said, "we will be visiting you on Sunday." I said, "Oh," I said, "I've got my 2 monthly visit." He said, "Yeah." He said, "It should be a month, but this time it's 2 months." So, sure enough, yesterday, because they always come on a Sunday. They always come to my house on a Sunday. And there's normally between 4 and 6 of them. Some of them are dressed in, their police uniforms, and some of them aren't. Anyway, yesterday, about 10 o'clock in the morning, and my wife at the moment, she's staying, she's not here at the moment because she was getting pains in her belly on Friday night. So she's packed all of her things ready. And Saturday she still had the pains, but not as much, and the waters hadn't broke, and she's not due yet for another couple of weeks. But anyway, the hospital that she will be going to is what's a private hospital, and it's Corazon, and that is close to where her uncle and auntie live. So she's there at the moment because here it's quite a distance, and if it happens in the middle of the night, Kaylin and all that sort of stuff, getting him out of bed, and it will be a rush, and it makes me anxious anyway. So she's been staying there since Saturday. And anyway, the police come round and did their normal stuff, and I said, you've seen my passport and you've seen my permanent residency so many times." He said, "Yes, sir. We don't need to see it ourselves, but we need to photograph it, for records." And it's not for them; it's for the chief or the commander, whatever they call their boss here in the police station in this municipality. So got that, and he said, "Where's your wife?" And I said, I said, she's at her auntie's house." "Ah, okay." And I said, "Normally, you want a photograph of me and my wife? He said, well, it's just something that we've been asked to do. And I said, also, I've got like a YouTube channel. And I said, when I mention this to some of my subscribers and followers, they've never had a visit from the police. And some of them have been here for longer than I have. Some of them have had visits. And he said, sir, he said, it's nothing to do with where you are. It's to do with the police, the captain, let's call him the captain or the chief of police in that place. Sometimes they don't come and check, but he says they are supposed to come and check. They are supposed to. It's to do with immigration and the police, because it's the police's responsibility, apparently, to make sure you are as safe as what you can be. And that's why they keep coming. And it's not because they want to, it's because it's something that they have to do from their bosses. So anyway, the same routine, my ACR card with permanent residency, my passport, and they just take a photograph of it, and they took a picture of me. And I said to them, I said, can I take a picture of you? He said, what are you going to do with it? And I said, well, I'm just going to show my subscribers, that you come round and said, we'd rather you didn't. So that's as far as that went. So I didn't even, I didn't pursue it. But people, I know like a lot of you haven't had no visits from the police, but it's no big deal. It's really not a big deal. They are just doing their job, and I quite like it actually. It makes me feel a little bit more at ease. And the checkpoints, I've never ever had any problem going through checkpoints. Yes, I've been stopped a few times, but they're so friendly. And the guy here on Friday, the guy who didn't know me, the one who pulled me in, and he asked if I had a driving license. And he said, where are you from? I said, I'm from England. He said, oh, they say, and he was doing like an English accent. He said, oh, they say water. And they're all like laughing. All the police were laughing in that. And the ones even on the other side of the road, they were like looking over and smiling, but they're so very friendly. And I don't know why. I mean, it might just be here. I don't know. It could just be in this province. I really don't know. But I know many people think, the police, they'll stop you and they want a little payment. Well, that's never been asked of me, ever. And the first time I got a motorbike here, which I haven't got one now, but the first time I got a bike, and as you know, people, if you bought a brand new motorbike in the Philippines, it's never registered. You've got to wait a month or two, or in my case, I had to wait 3 months for the registration to come through. And I said to the person in the bike shop, can I ride this bike on the road if it's not registered? He said, well, not really, sir. So I thought, oh. But he said, if you don't go on the highways, you'll be okay. So I thought, oh, what do I do? So anyway, I did ride it, and this was when I first come here. And sure enough, and on the back of the registration, you can see, because it says for registration, and you get a number, for registration. And as sure as eggs are eggs, I got stopped in Dapitan. I was going fishing at the time. In fact, no, I was coming back from fishing. And I got pulled over. I thought, oh shit, the bike's not registered. Here we go. And they looked at the bike and said, oh, there's no registration, sir. I said, no, I know. I said, I do apologise. And he said, it's okay. Just go home and just wait for your registration. Nothing, no ticket, no, like as many of you have said before, they want money. Well, they didn't. I've never experienced that. I've never experienced, in all the times I've been stopped, even by the LTO, and they are the big boys. They come with their hats on and their boots, and they've got these like 4-wheel drives, and they check everything. I've never had a bad experience where I can say, oh, the police here are absolutely horrendous. They're not. In England, I remember once, I think I might have said in a previous video a long time ago, that I was walking back at 3 o'clock in the morning from a party, and it was a weekend, and I got stopped and searched and everything. They searched me, and they were really abrupt with me. you know, the way they were speaking. I've never had that here. My dog behind me, Jackie. It's only me and Jackie in the house. But I've never had a bad experience. Never. What about you guys? You know, have you had a bad experience with the police? The only time, which I do take that back actually, but it wasn't a bad experience, but what it was, Jackie, no, you're digging around the trees. Gosh, you're digging around the tree. Was the time I had an accident on my bike, and it was a good few years ago. Maybe, well, Kaylin's 4 and Mira was pregnant, so it must be like 4.5, 5 years ago, because Kaylin's 5 this year, 5 coming up. And, you know, this bike come into the side of me, and it was right outside of the police station, outside of the municipality, and they got cameras there, thank heavens. And the guy who hit me was trying to blame me. And the policeman backed him up all the way. And I said, look, I says, sir, with all due respect, the highway code is the highway code around the world, to the policeman. And I said, he undercut me. I'm turning left and he come on the inside and I'm turning with my indicator on and he went straight on the side of me. So he had to draw a picture of what happened, blah, blah. Licence, insurance and ORCR. They made sure all that was up to date. And he was blaming me. And the policeman was also siding with the Filipino, which is what they do. And I said, but sir, with all due respect, you know, you've got cameras here as well. So I said, have a look at the cameras. And as soon as I said that, he started to listen to me, and then he asked me what happened again, and then he said to the man, he said, it's your fault. But if those cameras hadn't have been there and there was no backup for me, I would have been in the wrong, although it wasn't my fault. The foreigner, when you're on the road here, generally speaking, you're always in the wrong. So just be aware of that, people. And my Australian friend, his friend had an accident, and it was the Filipino's fault, apparently. I wasn't there, it's just what I've been told from my friend. And the Filipino said, you know, to my friend's friend, well, if you hadn't have been here, it wouldn't have happened, it's your fault. That's what he said. If you hadn't have been here, like in this country, that accident wouldn't have happened. Say no more. So just be aware, people, if you're riding around on a bike or a car, that get a dash cam. I haven't got one. I should get one. Get a dash cam so you've got the evidence, and then there is no comeback on yourself, because you've got the video evidence of the accident, if it is their fault, obviously. But saying that, all the I turn this. Hold on. Can you see them all now? All the trees. Hold on. Ooh, it's all done. Except for over here, but all these are done, all these are planted now. It's just took a lot of time, people. It's not just planting the trees. You can see it goes right up to my house with the blue lid. I've got over here yet to do, but people, it takes time. And this is not for now, obviously, because these are young trees. These are going to be, and they grafted trees, so apparently you're between 3 and 5 years, say 5 years. But the trees we got in the garden, we got them from the same nursery 3 years ago. And they are huge now, and this is the first year they have produced fruit. And we've got a lot of flowers and a lot of fruit on there, and that was after 3 years. So this is not for now, people. Of course it's not for now. It's for the future. It's for the future. And it's for my future as well, because I'll still be around here in a long time to come. So I'll get some of these roots that I didn't get out. I still got some roots to take out, people. I got most of them out, but there's still a few. Oh, like this. So it's mainly for Kaylin and Zach when he comes along, and my wife. And she loves gardening. This is her thing. She loves doing this. So that's why we did it. But that's it, people, and it's nice to be back and making another bit of content. And by the way, go in the shade, it's so super hot, and it's only about 8 o'clock in the morning. YouTube are demonetizing people still, and I don't know what's up with the algorithm, but the algorithm's all over the place. views on most people's channels are right down. And there's a lot of YouTubers giving up, and they're going over to something called Rumble. Especially the ones who's been demonetized, they've gone over to Rumble. Ramble? Is it Ramble or Rumble? I don't know. But there's a channel there called Life Beyond the Sea. He was demonetized a few weeks ago, and now he's on that Ramble, and he's been monetized straight away. But it's disheartening. It's not disheartening that you've been, it's disheartening all around, because one day you might wake up and that's it. YouTube have shut you down, and it's just disheartening, to make content, and all of a sudden you've been demonetized, and views are down anyway. And it's not just the small channels that the views are down. It's right across the board. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I really don't know what's going on. But there you go. Anyway, people, that's it. I'm done. And I was out this morning at 5:30 at the break of day watering these, because I've got to water these vigorously until they take hold, because Lanzones, they need a lot of water. So the rainy season starts next month, June, around about mid-June, the end of June. But apparently there's an El Nino, which is a drought. So I've got to continually water these until they take hold, and by that time, hopefully, once they've been established for 6 weeks or so, they can manage a little bit more on their own without me taking care of them as much as what I am. Look, one behind me, look. Ah. And that's the grafting, look, where they're grafting. But they're all good. But that's it, people. Anyway, thank you very much for always supporting the channel, like you do, and just thank you. I really do appreciate it. And that's it. I'm going to get home. I'm going to make a cup of coffee, have a shower first, cup of coffee. Look, I'll go in the sunshine. You see what I'm talking about, and get ready for me day. Spoke to my wife this morning and my lovely son. They don't really want to be there, but it's closer to the hospital. It makes me feel better, and my wife understands, because here we like 40 minutes away from the hospital. Where she's at the moment, she's 10 minutes away. Big difference, isn't it? And because there could be a little bit of a complication, because the cord is wrapped around Zach's head twice, loosely. But there's a hospital here where she gave birth to our first son in Pinion. But there was no complications. This one there could be. So, meaning it could be a cesarean. But it is what it is. And we'll see what's happening. See, these ones are established now, people, look. We've got new growth now. So these are getting established. All of them have got new growth, and they've been in here for a month. All of them are like that. All got new growth. So these are getting established. But anyway, people, that's it. You don't want to be looking at trees, do you? Take good care, people.